Hey there, ACF. Hope you're having a great Monday. My name's Jason Gordon, and I'm the community pastor at ACF Brushy Creek. I'd love for our daily devotional today to continue the conversation we started yesterday about battles and blessings. As I began to take a serious look at Joseph's life, I quickly saw some generational baggage that Joseph was carrying. And if you go back just a couple generations, you begin to see some of the dysfunction that existed in this family. And obviously God used it because he chose their family. He chose Abraham to be the father of his people. And yet Abraham had some issues. He did. We all do. Abraham at one point lied about who his wife was. Joseph's father, Jacob, was pledged to be married to Laban's daughter, Rachel. And at the wedding, Laban double-crossed him, and he disguised his daughter Leah for Rachel, and Jacob ended up marrying Leah after 7 years of hard labor to be pledged to Rachel. So Jacob doubles down and works for another 7 years to marry Rachel. And the issues that existed in that dynamic carried over into their family. The sibling rivalry and the favoritism that Jacob felt for Joseph was born out of those circumstances, of that arrangement for that marriage. And so there's so much here that Joseph's carrying. He's carrying some attitudes, he's carrying some situations, some stress that's been carried in his family for generations. And probably he doesn't even realize it. And so as he walks through these things that he goes through, from being sold into slavery to ending up in Pharaoh's house, as he's growing in wisdom and as he's becoming the leader that God needs him to be to save his people, he's growing through, God is growing him through, healing him of some of these relational issues, some of this generational baggage that he's carrying. I love one of the scriptures that I shared yesterday, and I'd love to share again, just a little broader this time, is Genesis 50. I'm going to start in verse 19. It says, "But Joseph replied," and just to give you a little back story on this, at the end of this story, Jacob has died. They memorialize their father. They bury him in their homeland, and they come back to Egypt. And the brothers are afraid for their lives because they're sure that now that Jacob is gone, that Joseph will begin to retaliate for the things that they had done to him growing up. And Joseph says in verse 19, "But Joseph replied, 'Don't be afraid of me. Am I God that I can punish you? You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people. No, don't be afraid. I will continue to take care of you and your children.' So he reassured them by speaking kindly to them." Remember, out of this family comes the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph learned through the things that he walked through, both the battles and the blessings, not to carry over some of these attitudes that he learned. The favoritism, the critical spirit, the hurt. Sometimes we carry offense, right? The brothers were offended by how their father related to them in terms of their relationship and his relationship with Joseph. And Joseph could have carried those attitudes over into the next generation by punishing his brothers, but he didn't. Because God walked him through the healing process necessary to be able to rebuild their family for the future. So while you're making your battles and blessings list this week, I want to encourage you to ask God, what in this list do I need to let go of? God, what do you need to reveal to me? What are some things that you need to reveal to me that I don't need to carry with me anymore? Maybe it's a generational sin that's impacted your family for decades. Maybe it's an attitude or a posture that your family has carried. Maybe it's someone in your family has believed a lie of the enemy, and you need to bring some truth, God's truth, into the equation. I pray this week with you that as you make your list of battles and blessings, that God would reveal to you what he's doing in your heart, how he's healing those generational wounds and giving you a brand new future. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you soon.